This is the Sports Hit List by the fans for the fans.
Guys, looking ahead to Game 4, seems like in Game 3, Karl Anthony Towns got it going after a rough Game 2. Playoff basketball is here, and it was a close and tight game. It looked like the Detroit Pistons showed their age, and the veteran leadership of the Knicks of Brunson and Cat happened in Game 3. But how can the Knicks go ahead up 3-1 heading back to New York for 5? Zig, I'm gonna start with you, sir.
Man, we gotta repeat the performance that we had tonight, probably with a little bit of less fouling. I thought every minute we started to get ourselves going, we did like a little ticky-tack foul. You saw what's my man's name on Detroit, Malik Beasley in Game 3. He started to get going after that dunk. So I feel like if we just bring that energy on the offensive end and continue doing what we do on the defensive end, we'll be straight. Game 3 was a complete team effort. I think you had about the Cal points. Cat 31, OG 20, Brunson came in, did his thing. So if we just repeat that for Game 4, we should be able to get that win.
Joe, you co-sign anything else you see out there for Game 4 for the Knicks to come out up 3-1?
But definitely less turnovers, and they had a lot of little like stupid turnovers and like Ziggy said fouls. But just be aggressive on offense, because they wasn't aggressive on offense in Game 2. And as you can see, Karl Anthony Towns came out and he showed what he's capable of doing, especially with a mismatch. Harris is a mismatch. I don't understand why he didn't dominate him in Game 2, but he did it tonight. He showed it tonight. He was like, nah, not today. You know what I mean? But a lot of things too. Not only with turnovers, but they got to play defense on the perimeter. They allow too many threes. Tim Hardaway should not have had 6 3-pointers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I ain't never seen him play like that with the Knicks neither. So that's
it's different systems, different coaches, different teammates. For me as a non-New Yorker, just watching this series, I think the series is excellent. Honestly, this is what playoff basketball is about: the back and forth. Detroit was able, I believe, they took a 1-point lead in Game 3, but looking ahead, it seems like Detroit just can get over the hump, but the Knicks players have to consistently play. And we talk about this a lot, right? Staying consistent. Now, coming back in Game 4 in Detroit, how can the Knicks stay consistent? Because it is a series, right? So you hope that they can, go back to New York and close it out.
Right. And like people who think that we just gonna run over them, they keep saying, I keep hearing like Knicks fans, Knicks in 5. It's not gonna be easy. This is not those easy first round team. This is not like last year when we played, Philly was tough, but we knew we was gonna beat them because they were hobbled.
Yeah.
This is not the same team as them. They fight through everything. As you can see, how many times have we taken the lead and then they just crawl back?
Yeah.
So it's like they fight. Like I said in the comments, I said that was the team I did not want to play in the first round.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I repeat this. Carl sent me a video with one of his students. I'm like, what is he talking about?
You know what's so funny about him? Shout out to Brandon Miller, right? I don't know if I shared it with you, but I had to take myself back to 20-year-old Carl. Take yourself back to when you were 20 and you were a sports fan. Like we kind of like OGs, like we the unks now, right? In a sense,
Yeah,
right. So we the
right.
Unks. So take your mindset to when you were 2020, when you were pretty impressionable, where you're like saying outlandish stuff about like your team and hoping that they're gonna win, and now realizing. So for him, he's in that age where he's in that different Knick fan bracket where they just want to win and they just see it from totally different lenses. We see it.
He ain't go through the trials. He ain't go through the tribulations.
I was just about to say that. He ain't been through real hurt.
Nope.
He ain't been through real hurt. That
Nope.
Marbury era, Pompey, Michael Sweetney, he ain't been through hurt, bro.
Said Michael Sweeney. Langston Galloway.
Jordan Hill. Oh my God.
All of that,
bro.
Oh my God. Yeah, these kids probably know like Jeremy Lin. They know the Jeremy Lin era. They know the Porzingis era. They don't know that.
And even that with the Porzingis era, we didn't make the playoffs. So it's like,
yeah. But honestly, though, how do you contain? I guess it's playing defense, right? As far as how you contain Detroit, because they're a young, scrappy team. Dennis Schroeder has been amazing for them. Let's not sit here and pretend like he hasn't been there.
He's
MVP,
annoyingly good.
He is annoying, but those are players. But
You
those
know what I
different
kept
players
saying?
win. Yeah.
Y'all want to know what I kept saying through the whole like game? I was like, how is he hitting threes? He's never hitting threes like this before. Now all of a sudden he want to hit threes
No, he has. Dennis Schroeder's been around
like that.
Yeah, no,
Not like that though.
I mean,
Not like that though.
when you look at his career, right? Because he's bounced around a lot. He's
Yeah.
always been in the right spot as far as like Zig said. For him,
I'm not saying he's a
yeah,
he's
he was on Atlanta and we played him like the Celtics play. He was just annoying, like Ziggy.
Yeah.
Just that annoying player that you just got like. He's like that Kyle Lowry player, like you just annoying, like leave me alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but to Detroit's credit, he's that veteran leadership in a sense because he's been around for so many years and played on so many different teams.
Like, he lucked out.
He's not a bum, but it's just that he's just annoying. Like right now, he's just getting on my nerves. Yeah.
Wait, Zig, would you say he's what?
No, he's like I said.
Like where you get your shot from?
Like, because he was. I get it. Like he's just coming up, pulling from deep, and it's just like, hold up, you wasn't doing this when you was in Brooklyn. Like, how all of a sudden you just get the three now that you're in Detroit? But like you said, he's bringing that veteran leadership, and he's scrappy. You saw that technical foul, like who was that? That was that campaign guy. Yeah. Like he can get under players' skin, and Detroit's gonna need that. I think part of the reason why they lost tonight, they had a lot of stupid turnovers as well. And their role players didn't really show up the same way that they did in game 2. Malik Beasley was super, super quiet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, until until you say he got going.
And right, there's a little case of too little, too late. So I'm hoping that the game plan really is, hey, Cade is gonna do what Cade is gonna do, but if we can just limit Schroeder, if Tobias Harris can give them the 5 points that he did tonight, like I think we'll be straight.
And it's crazy because he was talking before the games, calling us soft and everything. Every time he says something, he has a bad game. He didn't learn that last year. He has 0 points in game 6.
Yo, the Philly fans are going crazy right now. Like, you see the swap, we got rid of him.
Yo, shout out to Tobias Harris, a Long Island native out here. But let me say this, guys. Honestly, realistically speaking, we're going back to New York 2-2 or 3-1. It's not a matter of what you want. It's a matter of you trying to think logically here.
No, of course. I would want 3-1, but it's like logically speaking, like I said, they scrappy. Like
they're very scrappy.
I gotta give it to them. Like it's hard to be like, yo, I hate them, but I like the you gotta love the fight in them because they fight through everything. Like, of course, they playing against my team, so it's like I hate them right now. But as a basketball fan, I love the fight in them. So it's like the way they playing. If they play like they played game 2, it's going back 2-2. It seems like after every like the loss, they make those adjustments. That's the one thing that they have on their side. They have a coach who makes the adjustments. Yeah, Tibbs doesn't really make the adjustments. I'm being perfectly honest. He doesn't make those adjustments.
Well, I mean, I guess he made the adjustment to give Karl-Anthony Towns the ball.
Well, he had to. He had to. That was the one floor he had. He had to give him the 10 ball.
Points in game 2.
Yeah, like what is he doing without the ball? Like I said, and that's Towns 4-2 though, because you gotta ask for the ball. Yeah, you gotta ask for the ball. Like especially down low. You're a big man that can shoot. You work inside, come outside. That's how it works.
So
get it going.
I'm gonna go 3-1. I think Detroit's gonna come out with a lot of fire. They're gonna treat it as a game 7 because if you go down 3-1, you know how that normally goes. But I think the Knicks are gonna pull it out in a close one. You saw what Jalen Brunson put the backpack on and say, "Yeah, it's time to go home. Let's get this W."
Yeah. I think what was motivation when they said "F you Brunson"? That was real motivation.
Yeah, and I'm surprised the TV's allowed to air on television. They didn't beep it out.
Carl, they're gonna let that air.
No, but it's MSG
gonna let it air.
You know what it is?
If you was watching on MSG, they let it air. They didn't care.
No, I was watching on TNT, and I'm looking at the clock because I like to look at the time, right? So if it's like 7, 8 o'clock, that's prime time. I'm thinking to myself, are they really not bleeping this out right now? I'm like,
but you think about it, if they bleep it out, then you're not gonna hear the broadcasters.
True,
right?
Yeah, it's true. But it's surprising to me that they allowed it. But I guess we're in a different set of television now, which is crazy.
But I like I said, I'm hoping Ziggy's right that we go up 3-1. But if I had to really choose, like the way this series is going, it looked like they're gonna go back 2-2 to the Garden.
Thanks for watching the Sports Hit List. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. In fact, do it now.